Greetings. I have been often asked this question: how does a CFO make his role relevant? And my answer invariably has been the CFO is an outlier. And why do I call him an outlier? Statistically, an outlier is an observation that lies at an abnormal distance from the other values. A CFO, by the sheer compulsion of his job, has to go deep down to the basics and take a worm's eye view of things. And at times, he has to rise above and soar like a bird to take a bird's eye view of things. So playing this diametrically opposite role very frequently and often, many times a day, makes him an outlier. I also keep saying that a CFO plays total football. And why is that? As a goalkeeper, he has to protect the organization through robust control systems. As a fullback, he safeguards the assets of the company. As a halfback, a midfielder, he connects the various units and divisions of the organization, partnering with them and helping them to achieve their goals through prudent financial advice. And as a center forward, he has to score. And score he does through his innovation and innovativeness. So that's the CFO for you. A person who plays total football. Today, business has become incredibly fast and exceedingly volatile. The traditional methodologies that we have been adopting have now become redundant. You will find that analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all these new tools have gradually taken over the routine work in a finance department. And under these challenging environments, there is also the introduction of the gig economy, where over a period of time, I feel, people would be hired for specific tasks. There is going to be a complete overhaul of the role of the CFO. And each of those tasks will be given to specialists who will excel in them. Further, CFOs, I find, are devoured in their whirlpools. They have their audits, their accounting, their taxation, their board presentations, their internal presentations, executive committee meetings, departmental meetings, and the list goes on and on. And in the midst of this whirlpool, many of them find little time to step back and think of what the future is going to be, what the next 5 years is going to be, what the next 10 years is going to be. What are the changes that are going to happen in the eco space? So, in such an environment, how does a CFO add value? How is the role of the CFO going to be relevant? I have 4 points. The first, creation of value through team building. Today, the most difficult task of a CFO is to build a strong and robust team. And why is it so? Gone are the days where people can be motivated. Employees want to have an exciting journey with the organization. They want to be recognized. They want to be respected. They want to be valued. And after a period of time, when they find that they no more are excited, they will leave and find other pastures. This is something that is going to happen. It's already happening. So in such an environment, the challenge of the CFO for sustainable growth and development is to not only build a strong, robust team, but to sustain, to keep them, to value them, and give them an exciting journey. The second point is through simplification, value addition through simplification. Many organizations are buried in a plethora of procedures and processes. So many of them are non-value adding, under the guise of control, under the guise of procedures, under the guise of corporate governance. So many of them are brought into an organization. The CFO is the ideal man who can sit back, take a view of all these complex procedures, simplify them, and make it easy for everyone in the organization to operate. Empower the organization through cutting off all this red tape and giving people the power to take action. The third point which I have to raise is value addition through partnering. The CFO is a partner, an advisor, a friend, philosopher, and guide of the CEO and of all the people in the company. Gone are the days where making presentations, publishing glossy reports, analysis, ratios, points, and notes and emails really give the organization the necessary benefit. And why is it so? Because most of these complex reports and analyses are read and studied by people at the very high level. And is that enough? Not at all. The purpose of the organization, why the organization exists, what its plans are, and how does it propose to achieve those plans has to go down to the lowest possible level. And the CFO is an ideal candidate to take this as one of his responsibilities to spread the narrative, to spread the story, and to spread the purpose of the organization to everyone. And finally, the most important aspect, which often gets ignored, is value through communication. Communication is a very, very important part in an organization. Today, business moves so rapidly. It changes so rapidly. Decisions are taken at the spur of the moment. Directions change. Strategies change. And all this happens so fast that many a time people around and in the organization, the stakeholders like customers, bankers, shareholders, auditors, directors, and so many others, they get lost. They do not really keep tab of what's happening in the organization. And so therefore, an open, transparent, and effective communication channel has to be developed by the CFO. And he can do it because he has the numbers with him, which is the commercial decision on sustainable growth and development. Now, for a CFO to do this, what are the attributes that he needs? The first, I would say, is he has to develop curiosity, question himself on the whys, learn, unlearn, and relearn new things, processes, procedures, methods, and strategies. Unless he is open to learning and unless he has an inquisitive mind, he will never be able to grow. The second important attribute that he needs is to be the best in whatever he does. Doesn't matter what his strengths are, he has to be a world beater in that. And that is something that can be developed. As an outlier, he can develop world-class skills. And last but not least, he has to have the highest level of integrity, empathy, energy, and above all, strive for excellence in whatever he does. And with that, I'm sure he will be able to make his role very relevant to the organization.